And this is still Prime Morning, reminding you again that on Friday, 7 p.m. sharp, is the official unveiling of the contestants for the season 2 of Big Chef Tertiary Edition. We are all excited about that, aren't we? This year, we are taking it on a different note, and it's going to be super thrilling, super exciting, and so get ready to be a part of this journey. Now it's time for Good Living segment. My name is Esiedua Akomia, aka the Golden Girl. My guest is seated for this conversation. Today we are going to talk on dementia. Dementia is our topic for discussion. Get ready to get interactive with us. All questions that you have in relation to dementia, you can send it to our WhatsApp number. It is 055-157-5757. Or you can go to our Facebook page and you get into the comment section and send any question or contribution that you would love to make in relation to dementia. And so my guest, Godwin Edu Afo, who is a lecturer and a memory trainer. He is no stranger to us at all. We always love he being here and giving us all these strategies, how to retain information, you know, how you can get your memory working just like that. We always love it when he's here to teach us all the things that we need to know about the mind. And so he's going to get talking with us on dementia. Also, he was telling me something in relation to his book, 37-7, where an acronym, HEADLESS, contributes to you not having dementia. I can't wait for that. And he has a toothbrush and matchbox on the table that he's going to demonstrate something to us that I don't even know, but Goddy.
Yes.
Oftentimes I call you Goddy. I don't even know why I call you Goddy.
How are you?
But Godafo is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Godafo, how are you?
You look super great.
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Great.
Yeah.
How's
I hope everything is fine.
Yeah,
well?
We're good by God's grace. We're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Once the mind is working, we're
The
good.
mind is working. I love that. So, reading a little bit on dementia, I noticed that it looks like between 2010 and 2019, there's been an increment in Alzheimer's and other dementia. So we have 2010 having like 4.7 thousand cases, then moving on to 7.7 thousand cases.
Keeps increasing.
And then now we have over 8,000 cases of Alzheimer's and other dementias.
We have about 55 million people suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia at the moment, globally.
Globally?
55 million. Now, let me tell you this. Imagine us, everybody here, being an octogenarian. Octogenarian means, you know, between 80 and 90. We are learning, basically. So we call it octogenarian.
Yeah.
So imagine everybody here being an octogenarian. Look at two people here. Don't look at me. Look at two people.
Look at two people.
Look
Okay,
at
so
two
I'm
people.
looking at two people.
Yeah, two people. One of you will be suffering from dementia.
Ah!
I know what you're thinking. It wouldn't be me. Totofia.
Exactly. Exactly.
But that's the
It has to be
truth,
me.
you know. So if you don't want it to be you, there are things you do.
Okay.
You know, there are things you do to prevent it. It's preventable. It's fixable. You know, so that's why we're here to talk about it. The statistics are not too good. Like you said, you know, you have 55 million. Every year, 10 million people suffer from dementia. You know, this
All
is
over
like
the world.
globally. And
You said 10 million people will suffer.
from dementia every year.
Why is there a
That's from
will?
WHO study, you know, so if you watch the trend, it keeps increasing.
Increasing.
You know,
yeah.
so that's the trend, you know, because of poor lifestyle. And these are some of the things that we'll be talking about.
Yeah.
You know, so people are also changing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's likely to get worse. Likely to
Okay.
get worse.
All right. So now let's get to the basics. Let's get to understanding dementia. Oftentimes you have people, you know, trying to make a comparison between Alzheimer's, dementia. What are the differences? Are they the same thing as one
Yeah,
another?
so yeah, dementia is a Latin word, dementia, same spelling, you know, which means madness, insanity, you know. So if you break it down, dementia, dementia, the IA stands for condition. D is, you know, decline, you know, difficulty, you know. Men, whenever you have men, it means thinking. So men, Latin means to think. You know, so difficulty in thinking. You get it? So decline of the mind. So in Latin, we say out of the mind, dementia, out of the mind, madness. So I wouldn't say it's a form of madness, though, but it's bad. So it's a general term we use to describe any condition that could affect thinking, memory, personality, behavior, mood. We call it dementia. So Alzheimer's is the common form of dementia.
All right.
The commonest form of dementia.
Form of dementia.
Yes. So
okay.
The other types, but we usually talk about Alzheimer's because that's the most common. So that's the difference. It's a form of dementia.
Okay.
Now, when you have dementia, so it affects the mind. So some of the symptoms would be memory loss. And I keep saying this: when you lose your memory, you've lost your life. So you have people not even recognizing their kids. There are things they do, they are well familiar with them. Now they can't remember them again. They can't even know how to drive again. But they've done it for like 20 years. There was one shrink, psychiatrist. She used to treat other people, in terms of dementia and all that. And he had some free questions for them all the time. She's done it for like 20 years. At some point, she couldn't even remember the questions again.
Ooh.
So things you are familiar with, you can't remember them again. That's
right.
a problem. Then chances are that you are suffering from dementia. So look at this guy. I saw a video on Brenda's phone.
Gotti, even when it's earlier in your age, let's say you are mid-30s or mid-40s, and you start forgetting certain things.
So that's we call it early dementia. One of the biggest risk factors is old age. So we saw dementia to be part of old age, but it shouldn't necessarily be so. Now it's affecting people even at the age of 40, 30. Which is becoming a little bit alarming.
Alarming, yeah.
So we need to start talking about it.
Yeah.
And like I said, when you lose your memory, you lose everything. We tend to work hard just to, enjoy at some point. Then work hard, you accomplish some things, and you can't even remember what we need them for.
Yeah. Yeah.
You go to a room you're familiar with, you get in there, you can't remember, why am I even here? So somebody you've known for like 10 years, you meet them, who are you? That's super sad. I'll tell you this, when the memory loss comes in, you're likely to remember the bad things more than the good things.
Oh.
So the good moment, you're likely to forget them. But the bad moment, you're likely to remember them. That's the power of negativity. And this will make you miserable. So it's not a good thing at all. Dementia is not a good thing at all. That's how come I brought the match. If you turn this, if I go like this, it's better to blow it out, or it sets the forest on fire. When the forest is on fire, quenching that fire will be very tough. It's way, way better to prevent than to, engage in some of the things that we'll be talking about and have dementia. Then you will now be thinking about preventing. It's difficult. There's no cure.
There's no cure to dementia.
It's treatable, and it's super expensive.
Okay.
So there's a pill. If you use it, you need about $50,000 every year. Can you afford it?
Ooh.
It costs the world about 1.3 trillion every year. Dementia. So it's a bad disease. It's a bad disease.
I remember this very popular Hollywood actor, Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis is currently battling dementia.
Yeah.
He can't even remember his wife, his children. And the entire world is saddened by that because we miss him on our screens.
Of course.
We miss him on
and when that happens, then you're on that path to death. It's the seventh leading cause of death in the world. Because when you lose your memory, you lose everything. And when the mind can't do its work again, it starts to retire. So if you take your time and think, there's a Bible phrase that says, get knowledge, and for lack of knowledge, my people perish. So when you think about this one deeply, it means the mind was created to learn and improve.
Right.
So as soon as the mind can't learn again, can't improve again, it starts to retire. So I usually say this, when we become more flesh than spirit, we squeeze out the spirit out of the body and we die. When we get into courses, many of them are basically tied to lifestyle.
All right, so let's get into risk factors.
Yeah, risk factors. Yeah. I use the acronym BIG liars.
Big lies.
Big liars.
Big liars.
Big liars. B, blood flow. One of them is poor blood flow. So when you're not getting enough blood flowing to the brain.
Let me pull out my notes.
When you're not having enough blood flowing to the brain, you're likely to at some point suffer from dementia, because the brain needs blood to work. So if it's not getting blood, then there's a problem. So people suffering from chronic diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, at some point, if they are not treated properly, they could suffer from dementia. It's been proven.
Oh.
The I is infection.
I is infection.
Yes, so infections can also lead to dementia. There's an infection called syphilis. It's all known. It could make somebody even crazy. It gets to the brain, then it could affect the brain.
Okay.
So infections, we need to watch that one.
Infections, any part of the body at all?
Yes, infection. If it's not properly treated, it could get to the brain.
It could get to the brain,
and it will affect the brain.
Okay.
The G stands for genes. So somebody will say, maybe my parents basically had it, so it's genetics. But I'll tell you this, genes are not destiny. Actually, it constitutes about 5%. Yeah, so
I like that.
We are not doomed by our genes.
Yeah.
So even when your parents had it, doesn't mean you have it.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people, and if you get into research, there are a lot of people who had parents suffering from dementia, but they never got it. So that constitutes about 5%. And again, there's something called epigenetics. You can dictate how your genes express. Oh. Yes, based on your thought and the things you do, which we're talking about. So genes are not destiny. That one has been flashed out.
Okay.
Shouldn't be a problem.
It just contributes about 5%, like you mentioned.
Yes.
That's it.
And the L stands for learning.
Learning.
Lack of learning.
Lack of learning. Okay.
So for lack of learning, the brain is likely to atrophy. For lack of learning, the brain is likely to atrophy, decline.
Yeah.
For lack of knowledge, my people perish. Yeah. For lack of knowledge, the brain is likely to decline. So if you stop learning, you start dying. Einstein wrote it. I'm now understanding it. So if you even get into it, all the things I'll talk about, things you do to prevent it, the best form is learning. And we'll talk about it, when we get to...
Okay, Godafo, we'll continue the conversation. But the Enough is Enough demonstration is currently going on. NDC protesters against the EC. And so this is the chairman for the NDC, Esiodin Ketia. He's speaking, so let's take a listen to him.
That are generating the conflict. So we are ready to fight. We are ready to fight. So we ask not for any big favor. We are not asking for a favor from Electoral Commission or Nana Akufo-Addo or Bawumia. We are demanding our right to free and fair elections. So we are warning them. Today is only the beginning. If they think that after the demonstration, everybody will go to sleep if they don't accede to the request, they are joking. Today is just the beginning. And that is why we have restricted this demonstration to regional offices. The next demonstration will go to district and constituency offices of the Electoral Commission. And we will fight and fight and fight till the right thing is done. Thank you very much for your smart turnout. I want to believe that we can now begin the march. The march is beginning, and we are marching for victory. We are marching to save our country. It is now or never. There is no sitting on the fence. You are either part of the problem or you are part of the solution. Let every youth, unemployed youth in this country get up and let us fight to save our country. Let us fight to save our economy. Let us fight to save the lives of numerous Ghanaians who cannot walk, who cannot come out. But we are here today. We are going to fight. And we will fight and fight and fight till the right thing is done. And we want to send a message. We want to send a message to those who pretend to be peace-loving. If you pretend to be peace-loving and you are condoning wrongdoing, you are actually the one who is brooding conflict in this country. Those who want peace must prepare and fight against the element that will bring disruption in the country. That is why we are ready to fight against the element that will disturb our democracy. So thank you very much, and may God bless our homeland Ghana. We will not retreat, and we will not surrender. We are going straight for victory. Victory for our democracy, victory for not only a political party, but victory for the democracy and freedom of this country. Thank you very much, and may God bless our homeland. Aluta! Aluta! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, my brothers and sisters. Where is Dr. Man?
You just heard from...
Okay, so allow me to get inside. Thank you very much.
You just heard from the general, from the national chairman, I should say, rather. He was a former general secretary, but now the chairman of the National Democratic Congress. Johnson is here doing Ketia. Leading the crowd for this protest.
And there you have it. That is where the protesters converged, which is the Obra Sport Art Circle. And you rightly heard from the chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Esiedun Ketia. Well, all we can hope and pray for is that come December 7, indeed, there will be free and fair and violent-free election on that day. That is all that we pray and hope for. And so the protest or the demonstration has officially begun, and they'll be marching to the Parliament House. And so let's see how it all pans down. We're bringing you updates intermittently in between, and then we'll give you updates on everything that is happening in relation to the Enough is Enough demonstration by the NDC against the EC. And there's still Good Living segment right here on Prime Morning. My guest, Godaful, is still here. And we have started talking on the risk factors. We are talking about dementia. Please get interactive with us, okay, on all our social media platforms. The WhatsApp number is 055-157-5757. And the Facebook page is Joy Prime TV. Get into the comment section, and any question that you have about dementia, he's here to answer it all for you. So the risk factors, well, he mentioned an abbreviation, not an abbreviation per se, but an acronym, yeah. Big lies. So we are done with B, which is blood flow, I, infections, G, the genes, L, lack of learning, and that was where we got.
Yeah, that was where we got. Yeah, so it's becoming vitally important for all of us to become philomaths, love of learning. We all need to learn, you know, because when you learn, we'll talk about it, it expands your brain, you know, and anything you learn something new, you make a new connection in your brain. So the more you learn, the bigger the connection in your brain. You know, so something we'll be talking about called cognitive reserve. If you have that one, let all these things happen, you're likely not to even suffer from dementia. So that's a major defense. When the Bible says get knowledge, God knows what he's talking about. When he says, meditate on my word day and night, he knows what he's talking about.
Exactly.
And I'll give you another survey from the UK. You know, there's the cup, we call it taxi. In the UK, we call it cup. For you to do that, you need to learn. They need to train you. You know, so you need to know the road network in London. It would take you about 4 years. It would take some time. Now, those who pass, when they check, usually they have a bigger hippocampus, bigger brain. You know, so the hippocampus gets bigger. Now, when they stop and they are tested again, it shrinks. You know, so when you are using your mind, you improve, and the brain works better. That's how come, again, if you go to the Bible, it says, do not retire. The guy says, I've gotten everything. Now is the time to drink merry and sleep and enjoy. What happened to him?
Okay, so whilst you've asked that question, what happened to him, you're going to get back to you on that. Maxwell Agbagba, who is giving us a report from the grounds of the demonstration, is speaking with us.
For us to compel the Electoral Commissioner to do what is required.
The civil society organizations and some international organizations have also been commenting on the issue. Are you satisfied with their response on this issue?
Honestly, I've not evaluated all what they are saying. So it's for me to evaluate all what they are saying, for me to agree or disagree with them. At this moment, we are carrying on a peaceful demonstration. And that's
are there particular groups that you want to hear from on this subject matter?
Oh, I think the most important person is the Ghanaian. The Ghanaian that is going to obviously cast a vote, and we want to ensure that on the day of voting, you'll be given opportunity to perform your constitutional function and also ensure that your vote counts. And so that is all what we are asking for. We are asking the people of Ghana to get involved and to insist and demand that a right thing must be done.
Well, lastly, the EC says that they've corrected these errors that you've raised, the concerns that you've raised as a party.
Have I seen it?
And they're asking that you trust them
Don't worry.
in the work that
Don't worry. So if they have corrected it, they should give it to us, what they've corrected. I don't know what they have corrected. I have come out with a press conference referencing my constituency. I've asked them to correct it. Up to date, I don't know what they have corrected. So how can I believe you? What is the basis? You have added over 5,000 names into the voter register in my constituency. I've seen multiple names. I've seen names that are missing. I've complained to you. And you are saying you have corrected it. How do I trust you? Give me the evidence. Give me the evidence. Give me the evidence of what you have corrected so that we can sit down and talk. They are hiding something. They are certainly up to something. And let me tell you, we will demand that a proper forensic and systems audit be conducted on the voter register. Because as it stands now, it is obvious, very obvious, that someone somewhere has tampered with the voter register.
Well, what do you make of those who say that the NDC is crying wolf? I'm sure NDC is crying wolf. Yes. You've seen what is likely to happen, so you are crying wolf. What do you make of those assertions?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we shouldn't jump the gun. Let me put it that way. First and first, Ghana is going to the polls on the 7th of December. Prior to that, we have seen a voter register that has been tampered with. We have seen multiple errors. We have seen inconsistencies, and we have seen some discrepancies. We are asking the Electoral Commission to avail the register for a possible systems and forensic audit. We insist that must be done. So far, the Electoral Commission is only telling us that they have corrected it without providing us evidence. We want to see what they have corrected. Why are they evasive? If they have nothing to hide, why are they running away from this? This is basic. Okay? So we will not allow them to plunge this country into a possible violence. We won't allow them. We are asking for the right thing to be done. Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay, thank you. You just heard from the minority leader. You just heard from Minority Leader Kasel Atufosin. Let's speak to. Hi. Hi, what's your name, sir?
All right, so that was Honorable Ato Forson, who is the minority leader in Parliament. And you know what? This whole demonstration, what I am hoping and praying for is that the protesters, a lot of the protesters, I hope they know the reasons they are there, what they are there for, because a lot of the times you ask them, they don't even know what they are. They are just following their counterparts and their partners and their friends just to join a demonstration and just talk about something they know nothing about. And so if you are protesting or you are planning on joining them, I hope you have a very good reason for doing this. Anyways, God Apple is still here, and we are still talking on dementia. And the acronyms, we got to L. Again, yeah, so lack of learning.
Yeah, we've talked about it. You see the power of acronyms. Yeah. We're not getting distracted. You know, we could always trace back to where we left off. So that's how to learn.
Yeah.
And again, we're not suffering from dementia.
Yeah.
Remember exactly
I can remember. But you know, with the learning aspect, gaining knowledge, is there anything in particular that you have to constantly be feeding your mind?
Yes, I would say this. Some of them may sound a little bit unorthodox. There's something called pi challenge. Pi
challenge.
You know, pi, the digit, they run infinite. All the way, you know, it doesn't end. You know, so you could try to memorize some of them. I've tried to memorize 100 of them in sequence. My son has done 70. So when you do that, it trains your brain. You know, so every day you try to memorize, remember the number. And I got this because they use that to train the computers. You know, so the faster you can process it, the faster the computer becomes. You know, so if you want to train a computer, use the pi, has to process pi numbers. So same thing, and the computer is trying to mimic the mind of humans. So why not try to also memorize this one to improve your mind? It works.
It works.
It works, the pi challenge. So maybe when you have the time, I'll give you all the 100 numbers.
Yeah, and see how it goes.
All
right.
So that's something you want to learn on your own to stimulate the brain on a daily basis.
Right.
And I'll also say this one, maybe those who are religious might pick it up. If you have your Quran, if you have your Bible, it's something you need to be reading every day. You know, it also improves the brain. You know, and try to reason them out, understand it, decode the Bible. You know, because it's I don't want to be a pastor, sermonize today, but it's a spirit, you know. So you don't just read it like that. You try to understand it.
Understand it.
Opens up your brain, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You know, so don't question the Bible too much. Like some of us do, try to understand it. And when you do that, you understand it.
Okay.
You know, so you need to read something every day. And again, you need to learn a new word.
Okay.
You know, because I told you when you learn something new, you make a new connection. So you learn a new word every blessed day to expand your brain.
I learned a new word yesterday, erudite. Somebody who is knowledgeable.
Yeah.
A learner.
Yeah, I know that word.
Yeah.
So you need to learn a new word every blessed day. I do that, you know. So my goal is to have a new word every blessed day.
Ooh.
You know, and it works. It opens up your brain. And again, what you could also do is to, when you learn, find a different technique to help you remember. You know, so I wrote this one. If you keep remembering, your brain gets stronger. If you keep forgetting, your brain grows slower. You know, so I'm learning something. I'll find a way to remember that one. You know, like dementia, how do I explain it? I need to do etymology, dig up the meaning of the word, find different ways of understanding it. Where did it come from? So I grow the network. It's not just knowing the meaning of dementia, but also know where it came from. So multiple network in the brain, by still knowing dementia. You know, it expands the mind. You know, I'll give you this one, nap. It's one of the things you do to basically prevent stress, and it's good for the mind as well. Here's the statistics. When you take a 26-minute nap, it improves your alertness by 54%.
You don't say.
Just 26 minutes.
26 minutes nap.
Very good for the brain. It also improves your performance by 34%. You know, so nap is super for the brain. That's how come I'm a little bit sad to see them being taken out of the schools, our secondary school, high schools. We used to have something called siesta.
Oh, they are?
We don't have it anymore. Maybe in the girls' school you have it, but boys' school we don't. Very good for the brain. You know. So, but I'm trying to prove a point. How did I learn this and still remember? I'm not just learning the statistics. I also tied it to something to help me remember the numbers for a very long time. So just knowing that will form one network. Find a way to link it to remember them more will form multiple networks. It grows the brain. You know, it grows the brain. So we need to learn and also know how to learn. So now it's becoming vitally important for everybody, regardless of your age, to know how to learn every day and know how to learn. You need to be on a dementia prevention program on a daily basis.
Every day.
Every day.
The rest of your life.
Because you don't want to be part of the 10 million people every year. You know, so learning is very, very important. Let's go to the next one. Big liars. Then I stands for inflammation.
Inflammation.
Yes, so for inflammation, you know these ones, sugar, too much sugar, you know, alcohol, they get your whole body, brain inflamed. You know, so inflammation is one of the major causes of dementia.
Okay.
And the A stands for amyloid plaques. Amyloid beta is a protein, you know. So over time, they build up between the synapses. You know, synapse is basically the connection between two brain cells. So they come in there. And that synapse is a representation of your memory. That synapse is a representation of your how you could think, ability of thinking. You know, so if that plaque is quite plastic, if it covers that network, that connection, then you have a problem. So it can't work properly, you know. So they said that was one of the major causes of dementia. Now they realized even when you have a pill and you clear the amyloid plaques, people couldn't still get better. So it's multiplicity of reasons, not just one factor.
Yeah.
You know, so you need to do with all these things that we are talking about, manage all these things that we are talking about.
Yeah.
So that one is something that we need to check. R is relationship.
Relationship.
Or relationship.
Okay.
So some people are too isolated. We call them anti-so. Not too good. Loneliness. It kills the brain. You know, so if you don't maintain strong social connections, it kills your brain. You know, so you need to maintain social connections. You know, talk to your loved ones. You know, be a little bit social. It's good for your brain. It's good for your brain. And you know, depression is a major risk factor.
You know, somebody would also say that, okay, if I don't get the opportunity to be communicating with loved ones, close, you know, just chatting with them and all of that, I can get myself occupied with some other thing. Maybe I can watch an interesting TV series. I can watch an interesting movie. I could do any other thing. Why does it necessarily have to be like a human relationship?
Human. It's powerful. Because I keep saying this, when your mind meets another mind, the mind improves. You know, and everybody, that's quite deep. You sitting down here, you have something called biofield. You have invisible field around you. It could expand to about 9 meters. I have invisible field around me. You can't see it. You know. So when you come close, you come into my field. So it affects you in some way. So that could help you improve your brain, especially if it's positive. You know, so we're not saying bring people, just anybody into your fold.
Into your space, yeah.
Positive people into your fold.
Okay.
You know, so they bring in positive field, and that improves your brain. Very, very important. So that social connection is very, very important. You need to check it. Don't be too lonely. It's not good. The laugh pill is super.
Yeah.
You know, when there's love, even we say dancing with a laugh, your partner, somebody you love, you know, it releases something called oxytocin. Oxytocin, the brain chemical, goes to your brain, makes you feel good. You know, and that is good for the brain. The brain wants to feel good all the time.
You know, we actually did a talk on happiness a few weeks ago on Good Living segment. and Scoffrey, who was our guest, he mentioned that even when you're there, you can decide to laugh.
Laughter.
And when you do, it really
Laughter
helps.
is very powerful.
Laughter is
it
very
even
powerful.
improves blood flow
Yeah.
to the brain. Yeah. Very, very powerful.
So, you know, we tried it. We started laughing, and I ended up laughing.
Oh, you improve your mood. It releases, you know, I call it a dose. You have dopamine being released into your bloodstream, serotonin, oxytocin, endorphins.
Yeah.
You know, just laugh. You could fake it. Because the thing is, the brain doesn't know the difference between what has actually happened and what you have imagined. So I could fake it. For like 2 minutes. The brain thinks I'm happy.
Right.
So it has to find a way to make me happy.
Yes.
You know, so when you are sad, you're feeling a little bit down, just laugh.
Just laugh.
Laugh. And smile. Smile too is good. Because when you smile, the brain thinks something good is happening. So if it's not happening, it finds a way to make it happen.
Okay, so viewers, this is still Prime Morning, and it's still Good Living segment where we are talking about dementia. And earlier, Godafo mentioned that gone are the days when dementia, you would only see cases of that from people above age 50, age 60. But then now coming down to 30 and above, you're finding or recording cases of dementia, which is very alarming. But somebody would also ask, are children prone to this?
Oh, no.
Or no? So children are completely out
of
this. But 30 years going, 40 years going, certain things are contributing to this, I don't know how to call it, circumstance or this situation that is happening. And it's very alarming. And that's the reason that we are bringing you a topic like this, for you to be very careful and watch your lifestyle. So send all your opinions, all your questions to our WhatsApp number. The WhatsApp number is currently on your screen, 055-157-5757. What questions do you have in relation to dementia? Godafol is here to answer it all for you. Now, I saw something on TikTok some weeks ago where the lady was saying that when you plan on doing something, usually, as religious as we are, most of the times, when you discuss your plans with somebody and then it doesn't happen, we often tie it to something spiritual has happened. So maybe whoever that you spoke about your plans to has a bad spirit and has gone to do something, and then all of that. We usually do that. But then this lady was speaking from the scientific aspect of it, where she said that when you communicate to somebody you trust, a plan that has not yet happened, something you are envisioning, provided you have said it, your brain releases dopamine and makes you think that you have done whatever that you are talking about. And so before you realize, you are very relaxed, you are not doing whatever you're supposed to. The timelines that you give yourself, you are not doing it because of dopamine that has been released into your brain and making you think you've done it.
Yeah. So when you get into the brain, this is neuroscience. When you plan, you have a goal, you imagine it. If you go into your brain, it's already created in there. It has not happened, but in your brain, it's already happened. You know, that's how come we say meditation, affirmation, imagination, very, very powerful. I call it the aim practice. You know, so whatever you want to achieve, if you think about it strongly, it's already created in your head, as if it's already happened. Okay. You know, so in your mind, it's already happened. So if you keep focusing on that, the mind finds a way to bring it to you. Oh. So there's something called your prefrontal cortex here. Yeah. You know, once it's created, then the prefrontal cortex will try to find a way to bring your mind to that. So anything that is related to that goal, it comes on it.
It comes.
You know, so once it's created in here, if you don't repeat it, you may feel relaxed, because sometimes you feel like, when you feel like complacency, I've done it, it's done. So in your mind, it's already done.
Yeah.
You know, so you need repetition to get it stronger. It has to become a software. Now, once it's created, it's a hardware in your brain. Repetition will make it a software. When it becomes a software, it gets into your subconscious mind. Call it your heart.
Yeah.
When it goes into your heart, then it starts to dictate you. then you
Do
become
this,
automatic. Yeah.
do this,
you
move
know,
here.
move here.
Yeah,
You know. So
yeah.
you need to find a way
Yeah.
to make it automatic,
Right.
to make it a software.
Yeah.
But if you leave it like that, it's just a hardware in there, and it could make you complacent. You know. So when you talk about your plants, two things basically will happen. If you talk about your plants, it becomes difficult to achieve it, especially when the one you are talking to about is not too positive. But the thing is, that could also make it happen quicker. I'll bring you a phrase. I use neuroscience in the Bible. You know Joseph. Joseph talked about his plans to his friends, to his brothers. It became difficult, but it made it happen quicker. They saw them, you know. So two things. If you wanted to, you will struggle when you talk about your plans to people. It become hard, but that difficulty is what will make it happen faster. But the thing is, some people, that difficulty will make them walk out of.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say that. A lot of the times they walk away from the dream.
If you can't deal with the difficulty, then keep silent.
Keep it quiet.
And
keep
go,
it to yourself and move.
And when you are also silent, it might also be slow.
All right, so we have a few messages. Let's project the messages. Let's read what some of our viewers have to say. Okay. Good morning, Joy Prime. I tend to forget things easily. I forget people I've seen for a long time. I forget little information and I get worried because my loved ones think I don't care about other people. So I pretend to forget even vital information about them. Please, what do I do? I'm scared of getting old, suffering dementia. Okay, moving on. Hello, please help me improve my brain performance. I'm almost 70 years after taking my lunch. By supper, I don't remember I ate lunch. And even what I took at lunch. I have to go back to the kitchen to check the saucepan to remind me of the food I took for lunch. I live alone. What do I do? Okay. Godafo, would you address that, please?
Yeah, so I'll talk general so that everybody will benefit. Things you could do, that's how come I brought the brush, you know, practical things you could do to help improve your mind. Now, we talked about learning. Everybody has to learn now.
You have to learn.
Yeah, to improve your brain.
Yeah.
Now, you have to rewire your brain every blessed day.
Okay.
And one of the things you could do to rewire your brain is to use your non-dominant hand to brush your teeth. What do I mean by this? If I'm right-handed, I'll use my left hand to brush my teeth.
Oh.
When I do this, I rewire the brain because the brain is not used to that. So, like a kicker, it experiences something new. What's this? I'm not used to this. So you kickstart the brain, you know, and it gets rewired. And that's improvement for the brain. You know, so every day, use your non-dominant hand to brush. Now,
hey, Godafo, you might end up not doing well. Anyway, so
practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah,
okay.
so you keep doing this, you know, and over time you become perfect.
All right, so I want us to continue taking the messages. I saw something where I think one of our viewers was asking about the risk factors, the acronym. So the Big Liars acronym, we're left with S. So kindly finalize with the S.
Severe trauma. You know,
severe trauma.
You hit your head injury.
Okay.
You know, so you hit your head against something, you know, and that could affect the brain.
Okay.
But that doesn't usually happen, though. So
yeah.
if you have an accident, that could affect the brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
That could also cause dementia.
All right. So we are ready to give away money again. Okay. Quick cash. Dial *281#. Right about now, we want to give away some cool money. So it's time for us to draw again this morning. So if you haven't played, it's not too late. Pick up your phone and dial *281#. *281#. Okay, so please play. *281# and choose option number 7, which is Joy Prime. When you choose option number 7, it will take you to entering number of tickets. Now, 1 is going for 5 Ghana cedis. So you can do 2, you can do 4, as much as you can afford. Do that right about now. And then You enter your PIN number. And then that's it. Okay, so are we ready to draw? All right, so we are counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who is our lucky winner again? Ooh, okay, so 0547436. The last 3 digits, you know your number, and you have received a cool 500 Ghana cedis this early morning to cool down things, certain things that you had to do and you couldn't do. Yeah, so congratulations to you. We'll try and get through to you and speak with you and know how excited you are after receiving the money. Godafol is still here. Godafol, unfortunately, we are pressed for time, so that's why we have to end the conversation. But then briefly, let's give us something quickly in relation to...
I need to speak to
the 70-year-old.
70-year-old.
Yes,
So
please.
she could start brushing her teeth with her non-dominant hand.
Yeah.
That's number 1.
Yeah.
She could learn every day. You know, she has to learn every day. She lives alone, so she needs to work on that loneliness bit.
Yeah.
And she has to exercise every day. You know, if she can't do anything,
just walking around.
Walking is super.
Yeah.
It's when you walk, 30% reduction in chance of getting dementia. So she could take a walk. You know, let her spend more time with nature. You know, do these things. Exercise is very powerful. It increase the hippocampus. You know, and she also needs to watch hydration. You know, drink a lot of water. Coconut water would be good. Check their diet.
The diet.
She needs to know because it starts with the gut.
Okay.
You know, there's second brain in your gut.
Yeah.
It feeds the main brain.
Yeah.
So everything is here.
Yeah.
So she has to watch what goes into the gut, into the tummy.
Okay.
You know, so watch what she has to watch what she eats. You know, so vegetables will be good.
Okay.
You know, walk away from alcohol. It turns off the prefrontal cortex. So you know, walk away from alcohol, smoking, sitting.
Don't sit for too long.
It's the new smoking.
Sitting is the new smoking.
Yes, sitting. You know, so you don't need to sit down for that long.
Yeah.
You know, maximum 30, 45, maybe 1 hour, you get up. You know, you could do some squats.
Okay.
You know, then you keep moving.
All right. All right. So we have our winner, our second winner for this morning. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay, and you?
I'm awesome. You don't seem too excited, but you've won some money from us. You should show some more excitement. Are you happy?
Yes, I'm happy.
Great. We are glad that you're happy. What are you going to do with the money?
Well, I'll use it to help my friend's house.
That's very thoughtful of you. Congratulations to you, and keep on.
Thank you.
Yeah. A free book? Okay.
You come here and take
All right. All right, so congratulations to you once again, all right? And do take care. Viewers, this is where we end Good Living segment today and today's edition of Prime Morning. For Good Living segment, my guest has been Godwin Edu Afo, who is a lecturer and memory trainer. Today, our conversation has been on dementia. My name is Asiadua Akumia, the Golden Girl, and Rosalie Felly was here with me as well. We come your way again tomorrow. Have a lovely day.